Hey, welcome back here to the Central PA Pour, and all three of us are in the house again. Kevin, you're not traveling, but you're getting ready to travel.
Welcome back, everybody. Yes, I'm heading to Texas in a couple of days.
All right.
Yeah.
Dave, hey, we finally got some rain.
Finally. Yes. My lawn was looking like a hayfield there for a while.
When we did a bunch of recordings, we had talked about too much rain. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, the end of May hit and June hit, and we had no rain. So you and I have been trying to grow grass. Actually, you've been trying to grow some grass too.
Yeah.
The mowing kind, not the smoking.
Yeah.
Kind.
What kind?
Yeah. The kind you can legally have out in the lawn.
Yep. So, hey, don't forget to look us up on all your social media platforms at Central PA Pour. Go out to our link tree and you can check out our merch. And I'm actually wearing one of our merch shirts today. So you can help support the program by hitting our merch store. You can find that in the link tree wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on YouTube. Give us a subscribe. We have a gentleman sitting here waiting to come in who was on the live Mix-a-Six a while back, and he is a content creator. He's not a brewer, but he talks about some stuff, and we're going to introduce him to the show. So, Mark, welcome to the Central PA Pour, buddy.
What's going on, guys? How you been?
All right. So tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, my name's Mark. I am a content creator by accident. So,
by accident.
By accident, yes. Probably over the last maybe 3-4 years, I've been posting what I've been drinking, what I've been eating. Just everywhere I go. And people kind of where I was working at the time, they were like, "You should probably do something with this." They thought my personality was good enough. They're like, "Maybe you should go, do YouTube, do Facebook, do Instagram, whatever." I didn't have an Instagram for the longest time. Facebook was enough. So COVID hits. I'm working. I was teaching at the Department of Corrections for about 7 years at that time. There was probably about year 5. And I was bored. And my dad said to me, "I'll buy you a smoker." And I said, "You don't have to do that. Like, I don't like taking gifts like that." You know what I mean? And my dad said,
right.
2 days later, I have a smoker in my backyard. Perfect. It was a Traeger, just a pellet smoker. And I started posting things that I was cooking up because I was bored. I needed something to do. The gyms were closed. I've been a gym guy for 25 years. So I couldn't go to the gym. Video games get old after a while, and I needed to go outside and do something. I have a daughter who I needed to get outside, and the yard's fine, but sometimes, at that time, if you guys remember, it was get away from everybody. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So stay in your home. So
how many words come out of that? Stay in your bubble and everything. There was all kind of different words that have come up.
Mask up, stay safe, hand sanitize, wash your hands for 20 seconds, or happy birthday twice. Oh yeah, I heard it all. So I got the Traeger, started cooking some stuff up, just posting it locally. And then finally, what basically happened was people were asking me, for tips, like how do you do your pulled pork? How do you do your briskets? How do you do this, that, and the third? And for me, I just thought, let's just make a Facebook page. So the Bearded Beer Dad was initially going to be the Facebook title was initially going to be just a beer page. That's all I was going to do. I don't know how to get that changed. And then Beards, Brews, and Barbecues just kind of came about, and that's it flows. It was just I was sitting there and I was having a beer and I was watching Triple D, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, and I thought it just flowed right off the tongue. I've seen other guys, it was like Blackstone, Beards, and Barbecue. Like, it just doesn't flow. I just think Beards, Brews, and Barbecues flows. Just a me thing. So I had a small following. So this is I started in April where I really started getting into this. I want to say it was June or July. I made a reel. Now, if you're new to the Facebook world or the Instagram world, or you're familiar with it, you'll see these little short videos. They last a minute, and you probably somebody in your house is going to scroll through them, or yourself, for hours, and you're just going to get lost in these little reels. So I started making reels. One of the reels that I did was a crab dip. It was the most polarizing crab dip in the history of social media.
That's the one I think Ben mentioned had you on when you were on the Mix-a-Six, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Crab dip.
15.3 million views later.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah. I would when I was still at the prison, I would leave because at the time I was at SCI Cole Township, and I would go down to Shamokin High School, which is where I graduated from, and I would walk the track at lunch. We had an hour, so when I was just kind of trying to get in shape and moving around a little bit. So I was walking the track, and I look at my phone, and when I went in that morning, I had 349 followers. And then as I'm driving to the thing, I'm like, oh man, I have 450 followers. And then after I left that track, after a 20-minute walk, I had 1,000 followers. And I was like, what is going on? I think within a month, I blew up to about 25,000 followers.
We're going to have to get some of that shared love over this way.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I've had other reels that have hit 1 million. A lot of that just came from me interacting with everybody. I think the way the metaverse works is as long as it's active and people are commenting, liking, sharing, I think it stays active. Oddly enough, that video, that crab dip, I got somebody just commented on it like yesterday. Like nobody commented on that thing for like 33 weeks, and now somebody just so. I don't think it'll go active, but it was just odd that it's still kind of floating around somewhere.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that is cool. And it's
I'm
just have to try that. So
and it snowballed, and kind of here we are now. We're almost at 28,000 followers, and it's slower. Obviously, I can't expect to get 25,000 followers a month.
Well, I guess the next stop is going to be Discovery, where you're going to be opposite of Guy Fieri and saying, "Hey, welcome to the Triple B."
That would be great. That would be. I think Guy and I would probably talk all the oxygen out of a room. And I think that'd be probably too much personality in one room. But yeah.
Well, you can bring the East Coast, North Pennsylvania attitude along and mix it in with his West Coast laid back style.
Yeah, and I got to talk to him about his restaurant because I went to it in New York and I had a shrimp po' boy and it wasn't good. It's all right. I need a little more seasoning, I need a little more flavor.
I think we went to it in the one in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Last year.
How
was good. I mean, it's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. It's about it.
It's a chain.
Yeah, it's a chain. But
yeah.
No, I think that's cool. I mean, it like you had said, the social media, it's amazing how it can take off and you have no clue. My wife will sit there in bed and she'll just watch reels, flipping through the Instagram, watching videos.
That was my wife. Why?
Now, do you do TikTok?
Not yet.
Kevin's our TikToker.
So, well, it's funny. So I can't do cool dances because I'm pretty sure my arthritis would just make my body completely fall apart. And then Instagram, I didn't think I'd even get anything. I'm almost at 10,000 on Insta.
Jeez.
Yeah, I just didn't think I was good looking enough for Insta. I mean, my wife likes me, so that's a plus.
You ought to try. You got some followers, man.
Yeah,
TikTok thing. Get your daughter involved. Now, you and I were talking on the phone yesterday about your daughter, so I think that's cool. Tell a little bit about what you and I talked about because of where you're located at in PA there.
Yeah. So first off, my daughter loves Beards, Brews, and Barbecues. She had a Beards, Brews, and Barbecues t-shirt on. We were over at Rusty Rail for their Slam Fest. I think it was their 4th annual. Cool time. It was her first pro wrestling event. She loved it. We're probably going to go to SmackDown here coming up in September. I think it's either Hershey or Wilkes-Barre. I don't know. But we live about 10 minutes away from Knoebels Grove, and she's been to Trogs alone more than she's been to Knoebels. She loves it. Absolutely loves breweries. Like, she loves the vibe. She loves the scene. She likes the food, even though I'm pretty sure she just habitually gets chicken fingers every time.
Be careful, she'll start ordering beer.
Well, that's oh god, I'm probably going parent of the millennium here. But okay, so like I have videos of like on the phone where she would like walk a beer to me and say, "Here, Dad, here's a field study," and she was like, like she knew, like she's like, she'll play like a cash register. She'll play restaurant in her like kitchen area, and she'll be like, "Yep, I'm making this," and she's like, "Dad, what will you have to drink? A blizzard of hops?" And I'm like, and, oh my god, it's a riot. I love it.
That right there's TikTok stuff, man.
Yeah.
Her daycare called her Trogs. Like that was her nickname. Like,
oh man.
I'm like,
Oh boy.
yeah,
That's
but she
awesome.
does. She loves the craft beer scene. She loves being out. She loves. Obviously, she doesn't drink it, but I mean, you got to put that disclaimer out there because
That's awesome, man. I think that's cool as crap.
Yeah, she's involved in my hobby. So
you had said you are a teacher,
Mhm.
and you taught at the Pennsylvania Correctional Facility.
yes.
All right, and is it adults? Are you teaching youth? What were you teaching?
I was a cyber school teacher for 5 years. I went juvie over at what was a Northwestern Academy that had since closed in 2016. I actually lost my job because I was employed through Shamokin Area School District. I didn't have tenure. So I actually had 2 full-time jobs, believe it or not. I was teaching at the cyber school. I literally worked 7 days a week, like every day, literally every day, 12 to 18 hours a day. That was my day.
Wow.
For a while. And then I got hooked up with the Department of Corrections, which is really where I wanted to be until I had a daughter. And it wasn't the prison itself. I loved it there. I really don't have anything bad to say about it. It was just I was presented an opportunity to work at a juvenile facility that it was 4-day weeks. I don't work on Fridays. Unless like the holiday would fall on a Monday, then I'd work that Friday. I get the month of Christmas off, or the week of Christmas off. I get the month of July off. So it was a 188-day teacher schedule, just not a traditional one.
Right.
And I looked at that like I got more time with my kid. You know what I mean? And my wife. And if you follow my posts, we're together everywhere. Like we
Yeah,
are.
and I noticed that you had mentioned family's always first, and that's awesome. That kudos to that.
Yeah.
Some of us we get hooked up to the Department of Corrections. It might be on the other end.
I don't know anybody. I cannot negotiate any easier sentences, extra privileges. I don't have that much clout, man.
I mean, do you find that I don't want to say, I mean, satisfying as far as is that what you went to school for, to be a teacher? And was this just something either you pursued?
No, I'm trying to think of the best way to put this. I like building a loser from scratch and making them a winner, or the best I can. That's the way I look at it. I could have went to a really, really nice elite high school and I probably would have been bored because all the kids know everything and they have great homes and they have great everything. And everybody would have gotten an A and everything would have been great. That's not me. I like taking something that needs fixing in that regard and building it up and then seeing that achievement kind of flourish. That's where I've always kind of wanted to be in a correction setting.
That's awesome.
I'm a bigger guy. I'm like 5'11", like 300 pounds. I've been lifting weights for 25 years. Like I'm a big dude. So like I coached high school football. That's the only thing I do miss about being in like a public school type setting is I did coach football for about 8 years. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. But it was just the money was right. The security was right. The retirement was right. So I thought, you know what, I got to go do this.
I commend you for that. I mean, not a lot of people would chase that opportunity.
No, and I think you got to be a little crazy. You got to be a little nuts to go in there every day. But no, it was good. I worked with good people. I was around some creative inmates, you know what I mean, who were very good at what they did. I saw guys learn. Not everybody. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. But no, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Good. I don't know. I'm ready for a beer.
Let's do it.
What are you drinking there?
I went big. I went expensive for my teacher salary. I'm drinking a Freaky Peach by Trogs, the bourbon. What's it?
Now, did your daughter pick that out and walk it to you?
No. This one, she actually picked out. It was a Great Notion beer. I don't know if you've heard of Great Notion out of. I think they're Oregon. I think it's out of Portland. Yeah. Yeah. Really good stuff. Like I really, really like that stuff. That's what she picked out. And I said, I got to stick PA theme for now.
Yeah. Well, we're drinking a homebrew. This is our Summer Dreams Orange Vanilla Cream Ale. And I mean, for a homebrew, I think it came out fairly clear. It looks pretty good. I mean,
pretty clear from here. Yeah.
But it's a cream ale. And I was after the Orange Dreamsicle, and I think I hit the mark. I mean, I don't know. I think it tastes pretty fucking good.
Do you like it?
I do.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
So here's to our summer dreams, and you're drinking the Trogs.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So what are you getting out of your flavor profile on that you were drinking?
Bourbon forward. I mean, it's that you get the barrel age forward. The cool thing that I like about Trogs is it's nothing they're going to give you is going to melt your face with flavor. It's not going to be cloyingly sweet. It's not going to be that almost like they put syrup in it to give flavor. It's just a natural peach flavor. It's a natural apricot. Whatever fruit they use, it's a natural flavor, and it always tastes fresh. I mean, now that obviously they're cork and cages, you can age. I have a couple of Mad Elf Grand Crus sitting in I have a really old house. It was from like the 1870s. There's like a nook in there that stays cold, and you can age that thing. And I've aged 4 or 5 years some of their stuff. I have some Trappist Monk beers under there as well. But yeah, it's just fresh. It's nice. It's nice peach. It's nice apricot. But it's bourbon forward. I think it's bourbon forward.
And you got it. And that's up our alley. We like the heavier barrel aged stuff. I mean, the Goose Island Bourbon County is what really started us down this road.
Yeah.
And when we recorded with Trace, I think I was talking to you on the phone yesterday when we recorded with Trace, and that episode will be out in July. He sent me his barrel age, and I was like, I was a wow beer for me. That was a 5.0.
Yeah.
And really good. But
yeah, love barrel ages.
Yep. This is a summer beer for us. I wanted to do something light, and I was after that orange. So I did use some orange peel and a little vanilla extract. And then I got some extra extract that was called Dreamsicle to give it a little bit. I only used like a 0.5 milliliter. And I wanted Dave to come over and give me a taste before I put it in the keg to see if I needed to add any more adjuncts to it. He said, nope. I'm like, all right, going with it. Came out good.
Hey, that's all that matters. If you like it, you're drinking it. I mean, unless you have me over. If I come over,
this was our third all grain batch. The Irish Red came out really good. That went quick.
That came out real good.
The English IPA went really quick, and now this one's going to go quick.
You don't see Irish Reds much, man.
I liked it. I mean, ours came out. The only thing I think the next time I brew it is I'm going to get a little bit more darker malt to bring out more amber color. Other than that, I'm not changing the profile.
I wouldn't.
It was spot on.
Yeah.
So are you still doing a lot of your smoker stuff? I mean, I've seen you do a bunch of beer stuff.
Yeah, I'm all over the place. That's the cool thing about this is it's beards, brews, and barbecues, but I look at myself more as a personality than an expert on anything. Yes, I've drank a lot of beer. Can I tell you what I think tastes good? Yeah. Am I a brewer? No. What I'll do is I will sit with a notebook and be like, okay, this is supposed to have Citra Mosaic, whatever, Centennial, right? Okay. And then I have like my notes and I'll be like, okay, am I getting this note? No. Am I getting this note? No. So I'm trying to teach myself hop profiles to give you a better understanding of beer. Food is so weird, man. Like what I think is good, other people don't think is good. The crab dip, that crab dip was like the cheapest crab dip I'd ever made, but it was tasty. And I got shredded because I used bagged cheese. Because I used Cracker Barrel cheese. I didn't support the LGBT community. I'm like, what? I'm telling you, man, like I used canned crab, and you only have a minute to make those things. So like I have to cut, like, yes, I look for shells. I can't show you for 38 seconds of a minute reel of me looking for shells. But I did. I used canned crab, and it was good. It was a drunk crab dip, but like it was just like we were outside, and I'm like, let's try it, and I threw it all together.
It doesn't matter what you do; somebody's going to have an opinion on it.
Sure.
No, and my wife said that. Who, by the way, the secret sauce of Beards, Brews, and Barbecue is my wife is the photographer. She
cool.
All the pictures I get taken. That's my wife.
I think I watched one video on your Facebook of them doing a keg toss uphill.
She's strong. Small, but she's strong.
Where'd they throw, like 15 feet?
Yeah, I think so.
Jeez.
He works out every day.
It was two of them.
when she was when she was pregnant, she worked out up until she's about 8 or about 4 weeks out. I mean, like lifted like heavy weights. Like she just before she got pregnant, I almost had her benching 135 pounds. Like she's all of like 115. So something like that. Like she's small, but no, she's strong.
That's about where I was at when I quit lifting. 135.
Yeah, she it's funny, we had the little one upstairs. So when COVID hit, I made like a makeshift weight room upstairs. Just some Bowflex equipment. I had they're adjustable Bowflex like curl bars that you could just kind of, if you've ever seen them. And so I took it off and I had 40 pounds on, and the little one, I don't know where she saw deadlifting, but she's just like picking this thing up, like up and down, up and down, up and down, just repeatedly. And I'm like, yeah.
I'm telling you, you got all kind of TikTok shit right there, man.
I know. I gotta be prepared. Maybe
that's your next step, TikTok.
Yeah. Well, it might be YouTube though. I think.
Hey, you're talking about YouTube.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think the longer beer reviews last or do well on Facebook. I think it's a weird modality to have it on. I think reels work better on there. You can have a couple videos every now and again if you can keep them like 2-3 minutes. But I go to so many breweries. I try so many beers. I'd rather just go that route and leave the longer videos to YouTube because that's typically what people want, and their attention spans aren't. They want to do this, you know what I mean? They just want to scroll, especially on Facebook and Insta. So, I think there's some things kind of moving forward that I'm going to be doing.
We see that on ours. I mean, we're not a huge following yet, but most of our episodes are an hour plus. Sometimes are 2. Nobody's going to sit and watch that for 2 hours. But we've gotten good product. We've gotten good comments out of it, but.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised. I mean, your podcast route, I think, is good. I mean, for me, it's a quick open up my phone, hit the podcast, drive. You know what I mean? And I'm going to Trogs. Your podcast link takes me to Harrisburg. You know what I mean? And,
hey, we got at least one listener.
And that's what and it was funny because until Ben, I didn't know about the podcast. So I went on, and the first one I listened to was the one with Wolf. And it was a good interview. Like I didn't realize, like I was mesmerized that you have to like take a test to be like a judge.
Dude, we were overwhelmed from the beginning of that conversation. It's like, wow. When he starts going off parts per million, like right off the back, we're like, I think we were all looking at each other like, holy shit. He's smart as hell.
Pack of lunch is going to be a long afternoon. I get it, man.
But I mean, he puts out some good beer. So if you ever get down there, you got to go to Wolf.
Yeah, I was there probably about 2 years ago.
The food is great, and the beer is good too.
I roll in like a flannel because from November, preferably October to April, I'm in plaid. Like that's what I'm in. I'm in a pair of jeans, a pair of Jordans, and plaid. Like that's my Coleridge tuxedo. So
you look like the brawny paper towel guy, right?
Oh yeah. It's straight and terrible at the same time. So I did, and I walked in the building, and I'm like, man, I'm too poor to be in here. Like this, like wow, this is high end. Like everybody looked nice. I'm like, man, it's in the corner. I'm like, oh no, I'm in the wrong place, man. I gotta get out of here. But no, it was good. Beer was good. Food was good. Can't complain. Can't wait to get back.
No. When we had him on, he said, "Yeah, this was a hobby, and I wanted to go pro." My wife said, "You need to win some awards with anyone 5, 10, 40."
Yeah,
it's like, So it's great. That's great. I mean, great interview. We've trying to build this brand up, and this year has been a little easier trying to find people to come on and do it.
Yeah.
Maybe our name's getting out there and people are realizing, hey, this is a route that we can showcase what we're doing. And that's why I reached out to you. I know you did the little short one with Ben on the live thing.
I had a great time.
And I said, well, let's get him a full sit down, see what we got going on.
Yeah. And I appreciate that even thinking about me. Like, that's cool. I just said it to my wife, actually, before she left, before I kicked her out. I said, she's like, I wish, because I did get paid. I was monetized through Facebook for a little while. And then there was something, when I did some digging, it found out that apparently I violated some sort of term of service, I think by sharing a Trogs post. And they put this weird stipulation on my monetization. I didn't meet the benchmark, and then I lost my money. So I haven't been getting paid for this since February. And again, it wasn't a lot. I bought tires. It was good. You know what I mean? Hey, it's a win to me. I didn't have to pay for my tires on my SUV, so it was fine. But and I said to her, I said, but like I said, I've done some cool things. Like I told her I'm going to be on a podcast. Who knew? If you asked me this when I started this, and that even somebody would think about me to have a podcast.
I think it's great what you're doing, man. I think it's awesome.
It's cool. And again, Beards, Brews, and Barbecues is morphed into, like I said, I think I said to you on the phone yesterday, it's more of a personality at this point. Like I think
that's what people gravitate to on any social media. And that's where some of these guys get so big just on social media, is because they have an outgoing personality like you do. And you're like in your description, you said you're a common guy and you're trying to reach the common man and woman. And I think you're doing it.
I'm a dude dressed like a dude, pretending to be another dude. That's what I do. Man. That's what my daughter said. I went for his Halloween last year. She said, "Yeah, Dad, you were a dude dressed like a dude, pretending to be another dude." I said, "Yeah, you're right."
That's pretty clever.
Yeah, I do, and that's where I see myself. I mean, if you watch some of the recent ones, the cat. What did I drink? Fireball and mustard, and they told me.
I was going to bring that up.
Oh, God. Like I did the soda challenge. There's a soda place in Gettysburg, a candy store in Gettysburg, and they sold these like terrible tasting sodas, like ranch dressing soda and mustard soda and
pickle soda, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're bad. I mean, there wasn't any of them that were good. The ranch was real bad. I tried out ranch flavored ice cream, the Hidden Valley. That was bad. It was bad. It was so bad.
You did a jelly bean thing too with those nasty jelly beans.
Oh, my kid loved it. Oh, she had a kick out of it. And it was something we all did, and again, some of them hit, some of them don't. It's whatever the metaverse wants to put out there and let everybody see. But yeah,
do you get into the back end of it to understand what content that you're going to need to put out to get the followers? Is that, or aren't you there? You just like put it out and hope that it goes well.
It's a little of both. My wife will look up, she'll be looking at some of the trendy stuff. Some of it I can and can't do. Like there's just some of it I'm not going to do dances, as I told you. That's nobody wants to see this. I'm 84% sure my wife doesn't want to see this dance. So like, I'm not doing that, to the rest of the universe. Because I also don't want to get on there for the wrong reason.
No,
you know what I mean? I don't want to just make a goof out of myself. And I'm, what was that Asian guy, William Hong? I think it was on. Yeah. Like, I mean, he was a hot minute. He made a couple million probably off of it. And then he went away, but I don't want to necessarily be that.
You want to be substantial and sustain it.
Well, I want to be substantial, but I realize I'm a dad. So I don't want to do things that are just being a goof for the sake of being a goof either. Like I'm a teacher, I'm an educator. I don't want to do things that are just silly just for the sake of being silly. And that's not me. It's just not me. I mean, my daughter does see this stuff. So like at the same time, my mom sees this stuff. You don't want that persona out there and somebody, you get the wrong impression from somebody because everybody's got an opinion. Oh, I know. I know.
You talk about dancing. It was my wife was watching one of the Magic Mike movies.
Oh,
so I got up. I watched it with her, and I got up and I straddled her recliner like Magic Mike.
Yeah.
And guess what? I couldn't get my leg back off that recliner. I was stuck.
No, you're right.
Yeah, so nobody wants to see that.
No, I don't have to get the jaws of life to get me off the couch. Bending weird. I don't need that.
She looked at me. She goes, "You stuck?" I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah. That's what I mean. I don't want to be. Yeah, and okay, drinking Fireball and mustard. Okay.
Oh, that was bad.
I just showed them that. I just showed them that video. I said, "Watch his face. Watch his face."
I actually was on the other side of the studio whenever you showed that to Kevin. I kind of missed it. I have to.
We'll show it at the end.
That was on that mystery
No, that was so every now and again I'll see these things or somebody will send it to me and they're like, hey, this plus this tastes like this.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
I'm like, this is the power of suggestion. There's like no way. One of them did. I can't remember which one it was. I feel it was like pineapple juice and Captain Morgan. I forget whatever it was.
Well, you did one with Bush and Captain Morgan.
I did
It was
do that.
supposed to taste like chocolate milk.
Oh, Bush in check, Captain Morgan.
Yeah.
Why would you ruin? Never. I'm sorry.
Why would you ruin the Captain Morgan?
Yeah,
Morgan,
Captain
right.
Morgan.
Listen, I couldn't. Full disclosure, I couldn't get this computer to sit right because obviously this isn't something I do normally. So I'm like, I don't have like a camera set up right. So my wife's like, here, just put it under this, and then and I'm like, yeah, and it was just too high, and I'm like, ah. So there's my shame.
But you don't have good taste in beer, then?
No.
I'm all about the novelty. All right, I'm cool. I love novelty shirts. I'm cool about novelty beers. It's fine. I mean, I try and keep the politics out of it. Whatever it is, it is. You know. We're
like I said, Sam and Yingling used to be my go-to till I started down this path with the craft beer, and
sure.
I'll still get them once in a great while, but
yeah,
they don't taste the same as they used to.
No,
I have much more flavor in this kind of stuff here.
Oh, absolutely.
Spending more money, but because this stuff's more expensive.
You know, to your point about Wolf, and I'll say this, and this goes hand in hand with what you just said. I have no problem with spending money if you're going to do it right.
Right.
And if it's good, spend the money if you can. I mean, you know, within reason. But if it's good, it's worth it for me to pay an extra $5 for a 6-pack. Because Brent said it's an extra $1 a drink. You know, whatever it might be. You know, if it's good, pay for it. Like, don't shortchange yourself.
Ooh, I have no problem going to a restaurant, a craft beer place, or any place and spending the money if it's good. You know, I'll still spend it even though I don't find it very appeasing, but I'm just not going back.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of it. Well, it was a conversation Ben and I had. And I'm going to pose a question to you guys because I'm curious what your thoughts are. Is there too much craft beer in PA? And Ben and I were talking about this on the side, and I think he tried to divert me away from that. But it's a question that I had, and I get it. I'm not trying to make anybody mad, but the more and more of these places that are popping up, you know, the phrase "just because you can doesn't mean you should," you know, seems to be more apropos of late. And I'm not crapping on anybody specifically.
No, I think you're on a point. I mean, what are we at? We're over 500 craft brew houses and more coming.
Yeah. And we're
in 2011, there was only like 80.
Yeah.
It could get oversaturated.
Oh, it's oversaturated. I think we're beyond that, especially with the market coming to us as well, like from Oregon, from Virginia, from North Carolina, we're getting it. Yeah. And I'm not saying theirs is better than ours or ours is better than theirs. I've had bigger flavored stuff sometimes out of state. And I'm not knocking PA beer because I think PA beer is fantastic. But I've had a Mortalis sour, and those things are incredible. I've had, I'm a big fan of Other Half. I'm a big fan of Equilibrium. I'm a big fan, you know, and you're kind of like, sometimes I'll pay for that. And I'm not knocking the local independent craft brewer, and I don't mean to do that. And hopefully when people listen to this, that's not the point. But like I went to 2 places probably about a month ago. It was some of the worst craft beer I've had.
Huh.
Not even close. And I'm like, who told you to open a brewery? And I'm not somebody, because somebody could say that to me, you know,
right?
Who told you to start a page? But I have, and it stinks to see that because I'd like to, like you guys, I want to support people. I want us to drink local. I want to drink PA. But I've had some stuff where I'm like, oh boy.
We were just up to the Thousand Islands, and my wife and I both had the samplers, and it was the same thing. Everyone was okay, but they were just short, just a little bit.
Now I can live with that if your food's good. I'm cool if you have the total package of a nice building, great food, your beer's okay. I'm cool. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Like
something
Sly
has
Fox.
to stand out.
I think when we started this journey, the four of us, when we were talking before we actually sat down and recorded it, and then when we did, and we were looking at doing guests, this was what our intention was, to bring guests in. I think we are all concerned, well, what if we don't like the beer?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, we just be honest.
Yeah.
And tell them. I mean, that's what they're looking for. And a lot of the guests have talked about the Untapped and the check-ins, that they hate it because it's almost like a Google review, like a ghost guy that just goes out and does bad reviews.
Yeah.
Most people that give the bad check-ins, they don't like beer, but they'll give it it's like, don't even fucking check it in.
Yeah, no,
Drink it and leave.
Absolutely. That's not fair. I don't like that at all.
And like we've said, we've given a few beers lower than average scores, but we'll explain. Like you had mentioned at the beginning, you're not a beer guide. You're just a regular guy telling you what you feel, and that's what we do.
Right.
Yeah.
This is what we're tasting, and this is why we don't like it, but it may be good to somebody else. And
Sure.
that's what it should be.
Yeah, we all like different things. I mean, my wife hates the fruit beers, hates them, and I get it. I get why people don't like them. I like them, but then again, I like a million other styles. So like, I appreciate different styles. So it's one of those things where because I've had so much, you're like, that sounds terrible.
Like Dave loves sours and Kevin loves IPAs.
No.
Should we? Was it somewhere on here that we said that?
Change the script there.
Yeah.
No,
Actually, I think all our palates have changed.
Yeah.
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 Mine has.
I think to answer your question, the way these companies or businesses, craft breweries have changed, I guess the best thing for me, it's a relaxed environment in most places.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could take like Liquid Hero. It's the old fashioned style. You go up, sit at the bar, you drink a dark beer, hang out with the guys.
No food, just food trucks.
Yep. Or you go down the road and you're sitting and relaxing and playing a game of checkers or, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So you have, to me, I like the varieties.
Yeah. I think the breweries themselves are cool. Like, I think that's the other thing. Like, if you look at Trogs and you look at, say, Evergreen right down the road, it's two different, they're both big, but the kind of the overall philosophy of them are different. Like, and they're like, I don't want to say Trogs doesn't invite movement because it is. It's such a big, like, there's enough space. But like,
they're the big boys in PA, boy. They are the big boys.
Yeah, but like Evergreen invites movement. I remember the first time I went down there, and my little one was just running around with the cornhole board. You know what I mean? Like there's the shuffleboard, there's the outside area where you could kind of move around. And it's like, okay, like, so I think some places are different like that. What you just said, Kevin, is Mooduk for me. Like when I go down there, that's Mooduk. Like Mooduk is like your local bar. Like if that were in my town right now, I'd be thrilled. I don't know if I'd run down anywhere else because I just walk up the street and double the time going home. You know what I mean? Until I come home. That's what I would do. But yeah, and they're all different, all of them. And I think that is cool. But I feel bad when places are closing.
Yeah.
And that's where five
that's
already.
Part of life. I mean, unfortunately.
Oh no, I get
and there's been some that have closed. There's been some that have reopened under new ownership. There's some that have changed names, and the brewers bounce around all over the place.
I know.
Which Jarrett from Collusion, one of our recent guests, he started somewhere and went here, then that, and then started his own. So
what's the one in York right on the corner that opened, closed?
You talking about gift tours or love drafts?
They're closed now.
That was Old Forge.
Yeah, they're like totally closed now.
That's just the York. They're still in Ephrata.
Okay.
Old Forge Brewing. So they're in Danville.
So, but they had one in York City here that closed last September. They closed the tap room.
All closed off and everything there.
Yeah.
That's a weird one because I used to kind of can and would be at the grocery store locally. And then I don't think they can like they used to, or they're not into the distribution market. They're just
And their beer is pretty good.
Yeah.
The stuff that I've had is really good, but I just don't think I don't know why the tap room didn't survive down here in New York City. I don't know. I don't have that answer.
I'll say this: there's really tough competition down your way.
There's a lot of tough competition.
Like,
and I think when I talk to you on the phone, if you come down to New York City, we'll show you around some of our places. We've interviewed almost everybody now down in New York City. We've had everybody on the podcast. So
yeah, and that's it. I mean, there's so much stuff down there, and there's so much. That's why I'm always in Harrisburg. Yeah, and it sounds funny, but like there is. Like I was just at Mellow Make, and I thought it was a cool place. It's in a strip mall. Didn't know any better. Walked in, nice inside. Beers were very flavorful. I enjoyed it. You know what I mean?
Haymauer's the same way. He's in a strip mall. Brooks Haymauer. Yep.
So I was gonna go there. So it was our anniversary tour. It was the anniversary pilgrimage, and that was gonna be the last stop. And I didn't end up getting there. There was a hailstorm, and I was like, all right. So I went up 11 to 15, and I got caught in like straight hail. Like, I mean, this was. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I stopped at Pine Knotter Brewing because I said that was a safe place for me to go. I could have a beer, go in there. If they're in Northumberland, I don't know if you've heard of them.
I've heard of them. I haven't had any of their stuff.
Good small batch stuff. Good people. I like them a lot. But yeah, so I stopped there in the hailstorm, and then like all of a sudden, like the sun opened up. Like it was just like the most beautiful sun. Yeah, see, this is all I needed. If I would have just had craft beer on the way home, the weather would have completely changed. That's what it was. But no, I want to get down to Haymauer. There's so many I want to see, man.
Carlisle's got some. Mechanicsburg is loaded. That whole area is loaded. Harrisburg's loaded. Boneshire is what we had on. They were good. Mm-hmm. They got a cool little tap room. And I think, it's oversaturated, and you guys have touched on it. Everyone has a unique story with a unique atmosphere.
Yep. Sure.
And they get their own following.
Yes.
And I think that's what keeps them going.
Yeah. I mean, I think they've replaced the local bar.
Yeah. That's
in a way. And that's cool. And if that's the growth you want, like there's nothing wrong with that. Not everybody's going to be Trogs. Not everybody's going to be, some of these other big known places. Like that's just not the growth. And I don't know if it's feasible at this point anymore. Just because of the oversaturation.
Who was it that we had on that talked about distribution, and they just don't want any parts of it because of the cost and everything else. So
I'm sure it's a headache.
That has to be in a business plan. If you want to distribute, you're going to have to account for that because it's costly to distribute.
But it also brings people in the door. Does that make sense?
Area.
So like if you're like, okay, I can't get their beer, I can't get Moo Duck beer up here. So I have to drive. Yes. And what am I going to do? I'm going to have 2 or 3 there, between my wife and I. And then I'm going to get the pretzel, the bologna and cheese. They have like some boozy dessert. Sign me up. Oh, look, a hat. All right. Hey, I'll take a hat now. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, while we're at it, get me a glass. Let's go. Come on. That's where it is. Like, you might get a 4-pack out of somebody to try Moo Duck beer. They might not like it. You never get them in the door. Mm-hmm. And there's something different. I mean, you guys know whether it's right off the tap or right in a can.
When we started this venture, Central PA Port, mainly we were concentrating on the South Central region in New York, Adams County, and Lancaster County in the area that we're at, Harrisburg. And the one guy that we had on, before we had him on, he was like, why are you just limiting yourself? There's so much out there. I'm like, we want to concentrate on this. But he says, I understood after we started, because like one episode we would do this before we had guests, we'd want to do like Evergreen or somebody that didn't distribute. We had to go there and buy the beer so we could have it on the show.
Yes.
Then I understood what he was talking about. You're going to have to get the beer because it's not distributed.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what the idea was. Is we want to get this, we want to feature you guys and everybody, and get the word out that, hey, here's a place you got to go.
Yeah, and that's what you guys are good at. Like that's the name of the game here. Is like there's places that I haven't heard of. There's places where I didn't realize like, oh, it's right there. It's hard to Google Map 500 breweries. You know what I mean? Like it is, and you're like, oh, well, that's not okay. So that's right next to that. I didn't know Hemauer. We were at Mellow Mink, so we went Trogs because that's just like my happy place. That's the. It is. That's the.
Is that the McDonald's for you? Your happy place?
It really is. Like that's just like I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna be at least a B+ effort, and like I'm just gonna be happy, and I'm never not gonna be able to know what to drink, and I'm never not gonna be. And I'm like, okay, here it is. So we start there. Went to Evergreen. Went to Mellow Mink. Was gonna shoot over. I didn't realize Hemauer was so close. We were gonna go to Moo Duck, and then I was like, oh wait, because then like obviously Funk's right around the corner, and I was like, oh wait. No, Hemauer's closer. Let's go to Hemauer. Had we not, and I'm going to blame my wife on this, we stopped at Trader Joe's. Didn't know there was a Trader Joe's down there. We don't have one. So it's, whatever. Had we not stopped there, I think we would have got the Hemauer. Now, the consolation...
Well, you just got another trip to do.
Well, right. I mean, listen, I got cookie butter out of the deal, so I'm cool. Like, I'm just sitting there with a spoon and cookie butter. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But, yeah, it's... there's just so much. And again, I didn't mean to put you guys on the spot because I know your position, I'm a little bit different.
You're not putting anybody on the spot, man.
No, it's all good.
I just do. And I say it only from somebody I'm a middle-class guy. You know what I mean? Like I got a family, I got a daughter who's involved in soccer and cheerleading and probably going to be involved in a million other things. At what point to try all these does it get too much? Do you know what I mean? You get to the point where you're like, Jesus, like this is like, I can't afford it as much as and I know it sounds wild, but like it's the truth. And I think there's other people that say that.
That's why my wife got me a home brew kit thinking it was going to be cheaper.
Yeah, right. I mean, it is. It's an adventure. I mean, you're paying money. I mean, that little day trip, I don't know what it's been.
So we're going to cheers one in here. This is for you because you like IPAs.
I do.
It looks like you got an IPA, or did you get a sour?
No, I got an IPA.
Okay. We're drinking a Pizza Boy, Engineer of Danger.
Ooh, like me some Pizza Boy. I got Evergreen's Mere Mortal double IPA.
Oh, so cheers to you, man. Triple B. Cheers.
Cheers.
There you go.
I do like that glass. I've seen that glass before.
Etsy. Etsy's got some, I would have never went on Etsy until I found out they had cool beer glasses. And I love Etsy.
That one guy said that too. Remember
Etsy. But you know what? This isn't half bad.
This is good. I like this. Is really good.
You got it.
Oh, it's all right.
No, it's actually it's got a juicy feel.
Wait a minute. You bought this for me and you didn't like it.
I don't like IPAs. I mean, it's good beer.
That's just like, what are you getting out of yours?
It's the typical Evergreen oat flake, thick mouth feel, juicy. It's an Evergreen.
Juicy.
Does that make sense? Like it's an Evergreen. Like I don't want to call them neutral because I love Evergreen. Like I will go to bat for Evergreen. I think Evergreen's just as good as most IPAs in the state. I don't care what anybody tells me.
And they do. They put out some good stuff. There's no doubt about it.
All right. They're getting a little like neutral for me. We talked about this yesterday. Where you're kind of like, okay, they're pumping beers out pretty hot. My wife says that I think they pump a new one out, like 5 new ones a week. And they're all IPAs. And then you're like, okay, like what's, and you're like, oh, that's kind of yeah.
And that's funny. I mean, when if you talk to some of my friends, and as soon as you mention craft beer, oh, I hate IPAs. Well, it ain't all IPAs, but that's the perception that those people have.
That stinks too. That does. Because I'm a big barley wine guy. My trip this summer, I don't care. I'm going to Weyerbacher. Like I am going out there. I'm getting a Blithering Idiot. The first time I had Blithering Idiot was 2005. I fell in love with it since. I'm going out there. There is nothing wrong with a barley wine. There's nothing wrong with an English ale. There's nothing wrong with stouts, porters. People forget about them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the English style stuff. The original English style is coming back. The ales have come back. cream, brown, reds. They're all coming back. Strong ales. They're all coming back.
Love a strong ale. I love it.
I was going to crack one for you from Cartel, man.
I mean, you can't. I'm not going to stomp you. I just don't have anything cold. Like I realize, I have out of state. I'm like, I cannot crack an out of state beer on a Central PA Pork podcast. Like that.
I try not to. I mean, I'm trying to keep, and I find it with myself. I don't know if you guys do. When I go to DJ's Westgate, I'm looking local.
Yeah,
I really don't buy too much stuff that's not in this area, and I don't know. It's just my perception. Oh my God! My
Macy's
cat's down
Macy's here.
It's fine. I've been waiting. I got 3 of them. I got Lily, I got Clay Matthews, and I got Cha Cha. And I named none of them. Of course, I got no. My wife.
So somebody must like football if they named it Clay Matthews.
That was my wife. My wife is a Packers fan.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. So, but yeah, she's like, this cat's gonna be named. No, it was my cat. Like I was like, all right, she doesn't like dogs. Fine. So I'm like, all right, I want this orange cat. Saw it at the SPCA. I'm like, I want him. This is what I want. This is my buddy. There it is. And I said, what am I naming it? And she's like, we're gonna name him Clay Matthews. I'm like, what? Like, no.
You gotta be shitting me.
Some blonde hot guy from the Packers. Like, that's what we're gonna name. I have to look at this cat forever and think like, oh, okay, you like Clay Matthews. Like,
well, let me ask you this about your wife. What does she think about Rodgers going over to the Jets?
I have to buy her a new jersey. My dumbass bought her and the little one authentic white. She wanted white Aaron Rodgers jerseys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is cute. And I warned her. I said, like, I don't think he's gonna be here next year. Like, don't quote me. And she's like, no, he'll retire. And I'm like, no.
Oh no, he come out of that darkness, smoking weed and tripping on whatever shrooms, and hey, I'm gonna be a Jet.
I mean, I've heard the ayahuasca retreats are you just gotta go find yourself a shaman in like Belize or something, and you're good. Like you're fine. Take a trip. I heard they're magical.
Yeah. And it ain't Disney magical, right?
No, I'll just drink these. This.
Yeah, I've never done that either, man. So you did coach football.
I did.
And so you enjoy sports, I'm assuming.
Yeah. My whether I did or I didn't, I didn't have a choice. My dad coached high school ball for 30 some years. I grew up in high school locker rooms. I grew up on sidelines with film sessions at my house. I grew up, and it was cool. Like, I just had a conversation with another guy that I'm going to be on his podcast. He's a kid that I coached, oddly enough. And we were talking about this, and I'm like, I never paid to get into a high school football game until I was like 20 years old. And I was like, I didn't know how to do it, because I just got in for free. I just came in with them. I just got it, whether I was playing, you know what I mean, or just then, just go in with him since I was literally 6. I didn't pay. And then I remember the first time I paid to get in a high school football game. I'm like, this is bullshit. And then I got a coaching job. And then they give you these scouting passes and you just go in the game. Like, you just go in whatever. Okay, like it's a Saturday night, or Saturday afternoon. I want to go see a game. Here. You're scouting.
You didn't walk up and say, dude, I've never paid. Do you know who I am?
You know who I am? I'm Brews BBQ.
Speaking of that, you got any promotions coming up? Any special festivals?
Nothing crazy. I think this summer, as much as my daughter and my wife enjoy that I do this, I think we're just going to go on little day adventures.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just be on the lookout for that stuff. We're going to hit some breweries up. We're going to hit some cool stuff up. We're going to, again, it's beards, brews, and barbecues. I get it. But the beards part is my dad part, and that's what I want to do, and I went to the Sealands Grove Brew Fest last year. It was a really good time. I just was like, I don't know. Like, it's cool. By about stand 9, everything just tastes like beer at that point.
Yeah.
Kind of like, yeah, I'm like, this is good. Yeah.
So you're what? You're 40?
Will be
So in a couple years, he's going to do beards for the beards for men commercials.
Yeah.
Is that going to be your new video thing? The beards for men. Hey, you can put this color stripe in it.
I will take any sponsorship, any affiliate deal. I will take anything. As long as your product isn't atrocious. If I got to do the just for men, me and who was that New York Nick? I can't think of his name. Those commercials from like the early 2000s. Like I will sit there and we will color my beard. We will never do that ever. I've already taught my daughter has said to me, Daddy, you're getting gray. And my wife has said to me, my wife hates the beard, by the way, hates it. She would rather me give me a 1. That would be it. My daughter loves it. I shaved it once. She bawled. Oh. I came home and she didn't know what to do. This was 25 minutes. And I was like, wow, like I'm just not doing it again. But yeah, I will do it just for men. I will pour myself out for whatever I need to do.
Yeah. Remember Joe Namath doing the pantyhose commercials?
Oh,
if I need
no.
You don't remember that?
I don't remember that.
Oh my God!
I know what you're talking about.
Now he's doing AARP.
Yeah, that's true.
He's
doing the yeah. You guys are.
Is
these guys are
isotoner
like,
still a thing? I'll do an isotoner commercial. They still things. Me and Joe and OJ, we'll go do one together. It'd be great.
Yeah. Actually, to tell you, I think it was it Dan Marino did the
Dan Marino.
Yeah, he did the isotoner.
That was Marino.
Yeah,
Marino.
Yeah, it's just money talks, man.
Yeah.
Money talks. People do anything for money. I mean, there's a point I won't do anything, but yeah.
Hey, speaking of your barbecue side, so I was over at Ben's house last weekend, and he's slow cooking, nice pork, and he said, "Come on over at 2:00." 3:00, we throw some hot sausage on. Not quite ready, Dad. Not quite ready. 4:00, another 15 minutes. 5:00.
Yeah.
And then it's got to cool down. And I'm not a cooker. I have no idea. I burn water.
Yeah. I'm glad you didn't go hungry.
So then he's like, now it's got to cool down for whatever, 38 minutes, whatever the hell time it was. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that first bite into that thing. Oh my God.
Good.
I don't understand, it's got to be at this temperature. It's got to be this long. I don't understand it. And nor do I ever want to.
You just want to eat it.
But I'll tell you what, when he started getting those things out, pulling that shit apart, oh my God.
Yeah, there's so many tricks. I mean, ideally you want it at about, whether it's a pork or a brisket, you want it at about 200.
Yeah.
204 is the technical. There's a debate.
Cooking temperature, right?
Yeah. No, that's the temp that you want it at. Well, yeah, when it's completed. You want the internal temp at 200. How you get there is going to depend on the softness of your meat. Yeah, you could cook a pork butt at 450 if you really want to. But it's not going to be soft. That collagen, the fibers aren't going to have enough time to kind of melt. So he's right. I'd love to talk to him. And see this, send me a side message because I'm curious. So I do my stuff overnight. A lot of times, if I'm doing a brisket, I'll be up till 6 a.m. and I'll pass out.
Yeah.
I spray, I monitor. You can let things go. I mean, but yeah, ideally you'd like it at about 200 and the rest is key. Now, pork, you can get away with like 30 minutes. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll take my pork, I'll have my drip pan underneath. So it gets that extra drip. I don't want to lose that fat. Oh my goodness. And I'm shredding it in its own liquid. So it's going to absorb, because it's hot, it's still going to absorb all that liquid back up. And it's just going to be just a great bite. My brisket, I've rested that up to 7 hours. I mean, in a cooler. So you literally take a cooler, because coolers keep things hot, but they also keep things cold. So, or cold, well, vice versa. So what I'll do is I'll line it with towels and I'll have it in like a butcher paper, and I will let it sit in there for hours. So a lot of times, yeah, I might have to start at 8 o'clock the night before. It's a labor of love. Like I've had buddies of mine who are like, hey, I'm going to get a pellet grill. I have guys now that are like, why did this turn out like crap? How long did you cook it? 2 hours. That's why.
That's the problem.
Yeah. and you're like, okay, you got to clean this thing. You got to sweep out the fire, the little pot thing there. You got to make sure your hopper doesn't have too much dust in it, because after a while that'll build up. And you're like,
he was telling me all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a labor of love. And the cool thing is, like, there's YouTube videos. I mean, so I learned a lot of it from talking to people. I will pick brains. I am a brain picker. Like, these brewers that I've met, their business model is the thing that they're looking at. I'm a brain picker. Am I ever going to open up a brewery? No. Until I get, but at the same time, like, I just want to know their thought process behind the scenes of what goes on. It's the same thing with these YouTube videos. I will watch, I will pick brains, I will do everything that I need to do to learn and get good at it. Is it always good? Fuck no. Just no.
Mark, don't pick this way, because we're still fucking figuring that track out.
Yeah, dude, listen, my wife, she may have just walked in the door. First thing I ever made was wings.
Oh.
I thought 225. That's a good temp. 2.5 hours. That's not done.
No.
Raw as hell. And I'm like, yep, screw that up. First pork butt I ever did. I couldn't get it past 180. So it wasn't pulled pork, it was sliced pork. Like, yeah. So, I mean, it happens. I mean, that's just what it is. I'm sure Ben has screwed things up. He'll never admit it, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that every time I go over there, I'm anxious, too anxious.
Yeah, it's one thing you can't do. You can't rush the process.
First thing you need to do, first thing he needs to do, and he needs to learn this right now. If you are slow cooking the main dish, the first time somebody walks in your house, you hand him a hot dog. Have hot dog.
No, he had that down gold.
In the door, say, here, Dad.
Yeah.
He had that down gold.
Yeah.
Good. Make sure it's not the prop dog from Liquid Hero.
Right.
It's that uniqueness of something different. I have to try this.
Yeah.
And that's what the craft industry is about.
Did anybody
mention that?
Did you ever have a smoked beer you like, though?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't.
I haven't really had one yet. No.
I don't think it's bad. It's not my thing. Like, it's fine.
It's a twist. It's a different twist.
It's a one-off. Who doesn't like it?
What's SJ Poor said something about he was going to do one where he dropped the hot rocks into it, remember?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then I saw some of that one bar at Craft Brew House was going to do that, where you order this whatever it was, and then they have the hot iron and they push it in.
Yeah. It caramelizes the beer.
There's a video for you.
I gotta find one.
You need to try that, and you do it. Hey, somebody told me this stuff tastes good. We're gonna find out.
You guys had the milk pour, right?
I have not had one, but I know exactly what it is. It's all foam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a concentrated shot of beer. And then I'm kind of like, all right, I need another beer now. Like, you're just like, you wait 15 minutes.
Speaking of another beer, do you got another one there?
I don't. I'm still working on this one.
All right, so this is from Winding Path, who was one of our previous guests, and this was their barrel aged stuff. Is it their stout? Yeah. This was, and we've had this for a year now in the fridge. So, Winding Path from barrel aged stout. So, cheers.
Cheers.
It smells good. Tastes just as good as it did the first day.
Oh yeah, it definitely, you get the barrel, but then that chocolate notes come out at the very end for that stout. It's good.
That's a high ranking one.
I mean, I'm not jealous or anything.
You ought to be.
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah,
it's pretty fucking good.
I like my IPAs. You leave me alone. No, listen, to be fair, I'm not sick of IPAs. I shouldn't say that. It's just that's like what's out.
Yeah,
everybody, and it's been going through phases, and I think that's what it was. IPAs, then it was those thick smoothie sours, which I kind of enjoy. I'm gonna say it, I enjoy them.
Yeah. A couple.
But
too much acid.
I think it goes like this. There are peaks and valleys for this, and I think the ales, the original style, has come back because people are doing cream ales right now. They're doing brown ales. They're doing more of the English style malt forward beers. And I think, and when we started this, that's kind of what I wanted to stick with, was a traditional style and hit some of the original styles.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I was just talking to Logan Powell. He's the head brewer over at Rusty Rail now. And oddly enough, I coach Logan. And I think what he's seeing, and I think it's kind of the movement again to go backwards a little bit and not have hot, face melting 10.8%. Because Logan's like, I like to drink all day. Like if I'm doing something, like if I'm I want to be able to drink from noon to 10.
Right. You need low ABV stuff.
Right. And I think that's kind of, for me, that's what I'm seeing. I think people are starting to get sick of, I can have 3. Okay. So what does this come in at? Does this have where are we at here? This is 8.7. I'm not going to drink more than 3 of these.
Oh, that can't be more than about a 3.7.
This is 12 too.
Right. Well, we were at that Selinsgrove Brew Fest last year, and I'm not going to name the brewer, popular brewer in the state, and they brought like a 13% Belgium to a July Brew Fest.
Nah, you can't do that.
No, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, I love Belgians, but I'm like, I'm not drinking that. I'm going to be bombed. Like I can't.
I would, but you're going to be picking me up.
Right. Nobody's picking me up. I'm too damn heavy. Like, I wouldn't do that to anybody. So, but that's what I mean.
Your daughter, Mike, she's starting that deadlift thing, right?
Not by choice, but she's just. She had the 20-pound buckets for the Traeger pellets the other day, and she's grabbing them. She's walking them in the shed, picking another one up, walking.
Wow.
Go for it. But yeah, no, I just do. I think, I know lagers are starting to get big again a little bit. Just a traditional crisp lager was getting big again. And I think now we're seeing, I don't know if everybody needs an 11%. Now, I like that stuff. Don't get me wrong. I always like it.
But in moderation. In
moderation, sure. But like, again, I start drinking at 6, I'm done at 8. Like I can't, if I have 2-3 beers, if I'm real thirsty, you can't. And for these breweries, that's the other thing. With obviously, we don't want people drinking and driving, and we don't want people, drunk driving and everything like that. Right. It is a nerve-wracking thing to go to a brewery and you're like, okay, the lowest thing you offer is like 9, or something silly of high, and you're like, okay, well, give me the closest thing you got to Miller Lite, and it's not going to be all that tasty, and it's not going to be anything. So I'd almost rather see, I'd almost rather see something full flavor, low ABV. You know what I mean? I think that's fair, to do. I mean, yeah, everybody likes their high alcohol. Well, I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people like their high. You and I do, I do. Yeah, and you do. I mean, I do too. But in July, 4th of July is coming up. If it's 92 degrees outside, I'm not breaking out the 10%ers. Like, I'm just.
Why? I will be.
I mean, that's fair, but I also want to make it to fireworks. Like, I got to.
There's no fireworks this year.
I can't do fireworks this year. I'm on hold.
Oh, right.
But speaking of that, we are recording this prior to 4th of July, but this episode is coming out on Labor Day, after Labor Day. So that will be getting into Oktoberfest and stuff like that. So beer festival season.
Oh, we're that far out.
What's that?
Are we that far out? I didn't know that.
Yes, sir.
Holy jeez. Never mind.
No Germany for me this year.
No.
Every 3 years.
Yeah.
I bought a boot.
3 years. Yeah, okay.
I bought a boot. I bought the 66-ounce boot. I got to break this thing in. Gonna kill.
There you go.
Just kill 6 Oktoberfest just all at once. Just fall to the floor.
Fuck it, get it done.
Are you gonna
floor? I'll be good, and then I'll be really funny in like 45 minutes. Like it'll be.
You'll have to do some special videos on that.
I will. Hopefully I could drink it, and I'm not a chug guy. Like I've never mastered the art of just like opening the diaphragm and just letting it.
No, me neither.
No,
I've tried back in the day with the beer bongs and stuff like that.
I can't do it. Keg
stand. What's that saying? 1, 2, 3. I hit the floor.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
I'm all right with a kick tilt though.
So, any other content that you're thinking of, or are you sticking along these lines, or whatever comes to your mind?
I'm going to bring more food back. It's just the food got tedious, and again, I'm not an expert cook. I'm good at what I do. Does that make sense? Like it's the simple stuff, like some stuff that everybody can do. I don't want to be Guy Fieri. I don't want to be, well, guys, all right. I mean, I'm not going to bleach my hair, but guys, all right. But like, I'm not some high-end cook that's going to do all this crazy stuff. I want to be a personality. Most people like barbecue. Most people like beer. And I think most people are family people. And that's kind of where I want to be at. And I
think you've hit the nail on the head with the beards, brews, and barbecue.
Yeah, I want to do fun stuff with my daughter. She did a couple reviews of me. I wanted to include her a little bit. Try to include my wife, but she hates being on camera.
Let me ask you a question. You were talking about slow cooking, very, very, very slow cooking. Have you ever looked into sous vide?
Yes. I want to. I just have to kind of get the funds to buy one. I think truthfully, I want to do sous vide, but I think the next thing I'm going to do is pizza. The price of pizza is too damn high. I'm sorry. I saw somewhere where they wanted a buffalo chicken.
The reason I bring that up is this is something that I've been looking to do.
What is it?
Sous vide's really good. I heard the color of your meat's going to be a little wonky, but because it's not true. There's no sear on it, and it's not really being exposed to high.
There's no sear on it, but I've seen some of the products, and they have. I don't know how they do it.
Are you talking about a person, or what the hell are you talking about?
The sous vide is almost like boiling it, like
yes, almost like boiling it, but the product comes out very. It's almost like you've braised it in an oven. Yes. That's what I can't understand. So I'm personally going to experiment with it a little bit.
Is your fucking girl going to tell you your meat's done?
Well, yeah, I guess it's vacuum sealed. There's like a heated rod you're going to stick in like boiling water,
right?
But it's not an oven which it's going to get too hot. So it's going to be that mid, like that 200 range, I guess.
Yeah, you have to do it on a stovetop. That you have to do it on a computerized stovetop.
Yes.
And so
where do you get that at Domino's or?
Over
Amazon.
Yeah, you can get one of those Amazon. Yeah, there you go.
I'm sorry, I'm old school, man. I had to bring up the grill. Told me my meat's done.
I forgot about it.
So a couple of years ago, I'm setting up my fireworks for my 4th of July, and Dave comes over to check me out and ask me how it's going. And I gotta go. My meat's done. I'm like, or my grill's calling me. I'm like, what? Your wife's calling you? No, my meat's done. I'm like, he's like, it was telling me it was done. I'm like, Jesus freaking Christ, what the hell is this?
So I'm not laughing. I'm laughing at you and laughing at the fact that somebody decided to come home.
Hey. Tell him to hop on.
Gee, do you want to be on?
Tell him to hop in.
I'll get her in.
Yeah.
It's funny. My phone does the same thing with the Traeger. If Kevin, I don't know what Ben I have an app.
See?
It will alert me at the temperature of the meat. It will alert me at the temperature.
See, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
You know who alerts me?
My wife.
My wife.
You're right. It's smoking.
Are you checking that meat? Don't burn it.
Hey, Brett, there's black smoke coming out of the grill. I'm sorry. I'm sure
my wife's like I like it medium rare, Yeah.
She's a nice child.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, she's out in the kitchen going, is it supposed to burn smoke like that coming out? Are the flames supposed to come out of the side?
Yeah, I'm the easiest.
I do hate my grill. I hate the gas grill side. There's 3 burners in a small area. Mm-hmm. I can't control the heat. No. So it burns quick. Now on the charcoal side, because she got me a dual with charcoal, and so I don't smoke, but I kind of call it smoke. I'll take a pork rind or a butt and stick it on the charcoal. In 2.5, 3 hours, I got a nice smoked.
2 great meat tips that I've learned with steak. I'm assuming you're talking usually about steak. You like steak?
I love steak.
Love steak.
Yeah. So if you have your grill indirect heat, so say you're going to do, if you have a 3 burner, turn your 2 on, put your steak, let it heat up, but let your steak go on the
non-burn one,
your non-burner side, and flip every minute.
Yeah.
That grill mark that everybody thinks they love is really just burning the meat. That's what you want, is that crust. You want to develop the crust on your steak. I I mean, pan frying, like pan is really like the cast iron pan is like your best way of doing a steak to me. I mean, I've had it the best where you're basting it in butter over and over and over again. And, you're throwing herbs and aromatics in there. Yeah, that's great. That's not what I'm going to do outside because I ain't got that much time. Nor do I stand there like this for hours. Yeah.
I like a pan fried steak. And if you watch these chefs, they do that.
Mm-hmm. They do it all the time.
I like the taste of grilled meat.
So do I.
There's nothing better than grilled charcoal or smoked meat.
It's the only shitty thing about not having a grill for me. So the Traeger has no direct heat flame. So you're not getting any sort of flame on it. And then I have a Blackstone, which is okay.
My wife wants one. She keeps telling me because she wants to make fried rice.
You know what? We'll talk. I know. I'm not my Blackstone, now I keep everything oiled, whether it's a Traeger grill, whatever. Like I'm very good about meticulous about cleaning things, keeping things oiled, keeping things covered.
I'm not.
That Blackstone rusted in 2 months.
In 2 months. And the money you pay because you're paying for the name.
Top, but it has like a lid cover on it. It's like rusted on the sides.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, mother. I make smash burgers on it. I love a good
smash burgers.
They're big in the craft beer houses.
They are.
Everybody's doing smash burgers.
They take 3 minutes.
Because it's not a foreign patty you're pulling out. You're just taking a chunk of meat, smashing it down.
Typically, they'll probably do like a 4-ounce patty, roll it in a ball, not too tight, not meatball style, but like almost rolled. And you want that what I think it's called the Mylar reaction, which is what your crust is, and you're seasoning one side. Smush it down for 10 seconds as hard as you can. Get that reaction. Give it like another minute. Flip it. Another 2 minutes. It's done. Yep. And that's the beauty of it for craft beer because you got to pump out food fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to a craft beer joint for like nobody wants to sit there for 3 hours because they're sitting there waiting for their lobster or whatever to be done. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or whatever.
Right.
Nobody's getting nothing personal, Dave, but nobody's getting sous vide steak over at the they gotta get it done. So, but
is your wife and daughter gonna hop on?
I can hold on. Give me 2 seconds.
Get them on.
I don't want you to see my unsightly house.
Oh well.
I didn't know what you guys were talking about. You were talking about Soul Beeb, and I thought you were talking about
sous vide. I
thought you were talking about some guy or a lady.
It's I tell you the truth, it was new to me until I started. And Sandy had actually said that Dwayne and Christian were talking about this.
Come here.
Hey, we got somebody else on here.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Hi.
I heard you like to go to Trogs.
I do.
No,
you do?
I do.
Better than Knoebels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
We've been trying to talk your dad into TikTok. You think you can get him to do some TikTok videos?
What? Do I have to dance? You want me to dance? I have to pour milk on myself. Where did that come from? What do you want?
Pour milk?
What would you?
So you can, Mark, you can take that Captain and Bush Light. It's supposed to taste like chocolate milk and pour it on yourselves and do a TikTok video.
That's sticky. This is straight. I don't know. It might be the same price where the way milk's going. Yeah. Right. Milk is Captain Morgan. What am I doing?
Captain Morgan.
That's
Captain Morgan.
So what's your name?
Gianna.
Oh, well, nice to meet you. I'm Brett.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Dave.
See?
Nice to have you on here. Your dad's been talking about you all night long.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I talk about you to everybody.
Oh, no.
I know you know.
He said you're the next big superstar.
And he's going to buy a really nice present after the show.
Yeah.
That's not out of the question. That's probably not completely out of the question.
Well, nice to.
We went to
Rusty Rail.
yeah, but before that.
Oh yeah. How did you like your wrestling event?
Good.
Did you like it? Is that your first one?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool because I think SmackDown will probably be here soon, and I know Monday Night Raw was just in the area not long ago.
Really?
Yeah. And we know a guy that does all them independent guys. His name is Anthony Blackwell from the ABJ podcast. So we might be able to get you hooked up there.
Where is
That'd
it?
be cool.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Are you done? You want to go back to Mama?
Are they?
Yes,
They're coming out local. SmackDown. Where is it? Is that going to be somewhere around here?
Wilkes-Barre. I think it's September 1st. I'm not sure, but
Monday Night Raw was just in Hershey like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I think I saw the ads for that.
Yeah,
I try and watch it, but my wife hates it.
Oh,
so if I don't want her in a room, I just turn it on.
I'm with your wife. I'm sorry, I'm not a big wrestling fan.
Noises. I mean, and she's 6. I mean, so I get it. But I'll tell you what,
it's entertainment.
They're fun, man. I've been to pay-per-views. I've been to down in Philly. I mean, you want to talk about raucous crowd? I mean, go to a WWE event in Philly. I mean, it is.
I went to them back in the day. Finish it up. And I got second row with my kids, and the Undertaker comes out. And you know how they used to say how tall he was?
Yeah.
I'm looking him in the eye. Like, dude, he ain't 6'9", 10.
Yeah.
He's 6'4".
The Big Show's as big as he is. That man.
Yeah.
I saw that man. I was like, oh boy. I'll tell you what. You know who else is big? Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar looks like
that's a beast.
He has to walk sideways through a double door. Like that guy is. He is. It was John Cena. We were in Philly. It was John Cena, Seth Rollins, and Brock Lesnar. John Cena is a big man. Like he's a big jacked man. And I saw Brock Lesnar stand next to him. I was like, oh my god. Like,
he's into acting now, isn't he? A couple movies. John Cena.
John Cena.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cena. They're all following The Rock. I mean, The Rock went, Cena, they're all going that route.
Yeah.
Can you blame him? I mean, it's what we said.
Hell no. Well, when the Rock came into the WWE back, it was WWF, I think back then.
Yeah. WWF.
He was
and I was like, he's gonna far exceed this program.
Yeah.
Because you could just see, like you had mentioned, your personality, you're outgoing, and that I saw that with The Rock, with Dwayne Johnson. I said he's not going to be here long before he's off to bigger and better things.
Yeah, no. And I mean, it's again, do you blame him? I mean, people knock on. It was funny. I have a funny story for you. So I was up in Scranton, and you guys know Kevin Nash.
Oh yeah,
Diesel. Yeah, okay. So buddy of mine, Jerry, I'm sure you're gonna be listening to this at some point. Hi, Jerry. So we went up to Scranton, up to the Steamtown Mall, which I don't think is like there anymore, to meet Kevin Nash, get his autograph. And I'm not gonna lie to you, there was some in line. There's some some buttes in line before us. So like you can see, he's getting by us, and if Jerry and I walk up to him, the first thing he says to me, he goes, "The fuck do you bench?" I told him my number, and he's like, "Oh." And then I asked him about Magic Mike, and we're having a conversation. He goes, "Listen, if you would have saw what they paid me to do Magic Mike, you would have been shaking your ding-a-ling all over that camera." And I said, "Yeah," I said, "Probably." Probably.
And that was funny you bring it, because with that Magic Mike that my wife watched, I'm like, and I've never watched him, and I'm like, damn, I know him. And and all of a sudden it hit me. It's freaking Kevin Nash. It's Diesel. And I'm like, he doesn't look anything like, because he's gray beard and stuff like that. He's old.
Yeah. No, he's pretty gray now. He's finally embraced the gray. Because he was dying a bit there. And I'm not dying anything.
I mean, him and Razor Ramon. That was the partnership, man.
I like Dave's hair. I like Dave. Dave has embraced it. Dave is just, we went gray, and that's where I want to be. I'm never going to do Just for Men unless they're paying me at least a 6-figure deal. If they pay me 6 figures, here's Just for Men. I know you're going to be listening to this. Okay. So you guys somebody needs to come out.
If they're listening to this, we're all getting paid.
Yeah, right. I need this. I want my beard to be the same color as your headphones. Like, that's where I want it. Jet black. The most unnatural black in history. That's where I want this to be. So, but.
Oh my. So, dude, we've had a great time.
Oh, it's been a blast.
It's been a blast.
Yeah.
You got one more beer sitting there for you?
I can, if you edit.
Go get another beer quick.
All right, so I'm going to get something. It's not a PA.
We got one special already poured for you.
Yeah, here's what we're going to do. going to try this. I have a buddy of mine just brought it to me.
Is this going to be one of your mystery drinks, or somebody told you it tastes like?
No. So my buddy was in Aruba.
Aruba.
Shout out to BJ. BJ, thank you as always, one of my boys. He brought me something called Balashi. I have no idea what this is.
Oh.
Is this going to be a virgin trial on it?
It is. It is
I might have had that before.
It's a Pilsner born and brewed in Aruba.
Ooh, that sounds very interesting.
Let's give this. I'm sure it's just going to taste like Aruba. So
what we're going to be drinking, it's a Boneshire barley wine.
Ooh, Boneshire. I got to get over there.
10.4%.
Jesus. See,
and I will tell you, we've had this before. This is a very good barley wine.
How's Boneshire?
Yeah.
You like Boneshire? Boneshire. I haven't been there. I've heard their place is cool.
I will tell you. So when we had them on as a guest, we mentioned about their pizza. And they got a tabletop pizza maker. Nice. Not this big wood-fired oven.
Right. It's
a tabletop pizza.
Yeah.
Dude, they're making some fabulous fucking pizza.
They make really good pizza.
Very good.
I'm cool with pizza, man.
It's thin crusted. And they got, it's just great. They got it going on, and they got a huge following. So we were glad to get them on.
Smells like a Pilsner.
Smells like a Pilsner?
Smells like a Pilsner.
Is that kind of like what Cheech and Chong used to do? Smells like dog shit?
Yeah.
Tastes like dog shit? Must be dog shit.
Yeah.
Smells like dog shit.
Listen,
good thing we didn't step in it.
Basketball Jones and Sister Mary Elephant. You can never go wrong with that.
Yeah. And Dave's not here.
Dave's not Dave.
So, Mark, tell us once again where they can find you on your content, you're all about.
Yeah, you can find me at the Beards, Brews, and Barbecues on Instagram. It's actually Bearded Beer Dad on Facebook.
And I do have that posted up.
Yeah, you do. I see on the video. It's Beards, Brews, the and symbol, whatever that is, and
ampersand.
BBQ. Yeah, let's go with that. I'm an English teacher. I should know this. So anyway, it's a barbecue on Facebook. What are you going to get from me? You're going to get an honest guy who's just having fun. I'm a dad. I'm a family man. I'm a guy that just likes what he's doing. I enjoy life. I like my beer. I like my food. And I'm somebody that's going to be honest with you. And I'm going to tell you what I recommend, things that I've had. You're never going to see me do a bad recommendation on somebody. If it's not on my page and I've been there, and
that's why.
That's why. I'm never going to take, be bad to anybody, but, this is what I'm going to show you the positive. And you're going to get a guy that's going to do fun stuff online, get a laugh out of my pain and suffering, tasting drinks that are terrible, foods that are just god awful, and that's it. But I just want to thank you guys from literally, this has been like one of the coolest things I've done probably in my 39 years.
We're happy to have you on, man. This has been fun.
Yeah.
When I knew you were getting on with Ben on the Mix of Six Alive a couple months ago, I was like, we're going to have to get him in on a full sit down.
Do you know where I scheduled that from Hershey? I was sitting at the indoor pool in a hotel because sometimes you just get a hotel instead of driving home from these breweries. Right. I was sitting there like, this guy's looking for guests. And then I was doing this weird like flirt thing with Ben. Like I was like, hey, you looking for somebody? Hey. And he's like, you want to be on? I'm like, I don't know. You want me on? And then it just kind of happened. But it was that was good. That was good. And it's awesome because it helped me introduce you guys.
Is that an advertisement for Match.com?
Oh, yeah.
Farmers only. I think
Farmers only.
Yeah.
Oh man! Oh my God! My wife hated that when them women would try and sing that song, "Farmers Only." She would cringe. Thank God that's not on anymore.
Wow. That was a short-lived commercial. Thank God.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I do. Dave, Brett, and Kevin, I want to thank you guys for having me on, letting me kind of just shoot the shit. It was good.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah, it's just.
Not just because they're here, but because they just came home. But I want to thank my wife, who has been a huge supporter of me throughout this whole thing. I know it's been kind of sometimes a pain in the ass because sometimes I don't get to enjoy necessarily like when I'm out. You know what I mean? And to my daughter, you know, who obviously thinks this is the coolest thing in the world. And my daughter, I'm as popular as Guy Fieri. But to all my friends, my followers, my family members, you know, that have supported me, thank you. I really do mean that from the bottom of my heart. You know, hopefully I keep growing, and hopefully you guys have me back on. Let's do something.
We're gonna do something. Man. We're gonna do something live, man. We have to get you. Either we come your way, you come our way. We'll figure this out. But
hey, just remember August 6th. Maybe if you can come down for August 6th.
Yeah. That's a Sunday, right? I think
it's a Sunday. It is a Sunday.
Yes,
we'll talk.
Yes,
we'll talk, dude. So what? We're gonna get out of here, but you know, make sure you give Beards Brews the Triple B. A following, man. This isn't Guy Fieri, but this is Mark Romanelli. It almost sounds the same with Triple B.
Yeah.
So make sure you give him a follow. And if you're out there, look us up on all your social media platforms, wherever you get your podcasts at Central PA Pour. Check out our merch store. Check out our link tree. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow Beards, Brews, and Barbecue. And if you're out there, now we're drinking a Boneshire barley wine in honor of Beards, Brews, and Barbecues because he loves barley wine.
I don't have any in my house. It makes me sad.
We're going to make you jealous.
We had a couple.
Yeah.
So let's raise a glass with Beards, Brews, and Barbecue and the CPP, and let's all be bonded by beer.
One Triple B to another.
Cheers.
Cheers, baby.